Hello and welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. This is Melanie Dean. I'm going to be joined with two other very, very important people from the show. However, we have taken the controls and we are not we kicked Christian out of the TARDIS for a little bit. So we're going to be talking about Star Beast today. And the good and the bad thing is you may notice they have a different background. So I'm still trying to get my office together, so there's might be a little bit of little glitches as I try to click and all that kind of fun stuff. But joining me are two other people. Let me see if I can't bring them up or if I can just get Dave to do it. Let's see. Okay, so
yay!
Joining me, yay! So
we're all unmuted.
Yay, we're all unmuted. Okay, so joining me over here on my left, everybody else's right, is Paparazzo Dave Chapman from the redhole.ca. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited.
I say, because how many are you rolling with this episode of watching it just after the live watch party that you had, or did you watch it again?
I watched it again, and then I kind of had it on the background. I might have had it on a third time. I have not had a chance to rewatch it today, but I have watched it at least twice.
Okay, awesome.
Nothing else because I'm going to be talking about it on Earth Station Who, which is recording when this is done and will go live at the end of the week. I forget what their release schedule date is.
So awesome. I love the people. Mary, Mike, and Mike from Earth Station Who are absolutely stunningly amazing people. So if you can, I don't know if they're going to be doing it live.
No, this one's not live.
Nope. So
the first one live is you. You're the first one live January 9th.
There we go. So
we're not doing any more lives until the end of the year, though.
Make sure you tune in to watch that when it comes out. So make sure you keep an eye on Dave Chapman's the rathole.ca, or just go to Earth Station Who on the ESO network to, check them out. Because again, amazing podcast, friends of the show. I've been on it. We've been on it. So they're wonderful, wonderful people. Speaking of wonderful people, below here is the Candyman, Mark Robinson. How you doing?
Hey guys, how you doing? I love the Randalls. I love the new Randalls. These are the old ones, but I love the new ones. Love them.
I'll say in the square below me, the man surrounded by the round things. There we go.
Hi, Roger.
Hello, Roger. Yes, apologies all. No Christian tonight. And also my door's open. So if you hear bags moving, I apologize. All the cats and everything are now deciding to come into my office, which is a shambles. But this is going to be a little bit more of a laid back little episode, even though we are reviewing the Star Beast. We've got the first special with David Tennant back as the 14th Doctor. We have the Dr. Donna Noble, and a few other characters that were kind of amazing and different that we've been, what's the word? Just like little drips and drabs have been on social media and hinted at.
I'm not happy. There's another unit uniform.
No, more money out of your pocket.
More patches, more patches, more things. Are you going to get the helmet that has the visor that goes?
I don't know. I'm getting there. I've got the shoulder pads already. I'm just like, now what can I do on the cheap? Can I use any of the old things? Do I have to get a new tactical vest? Do I have to get the helmet, or can I wait to the rest of the other 2 episodes and see which one I can do the cheapest and easiest one to do? Which I think, according to the trailers, there is a one where he doesn't have a helmet, so that might be a better idea.
Mm-hmm. You have to get contacts if you want to be one of the psychedelic gang.
Yeah,
unless it could be like an alternate costume.
You have to get the helmet. That just reminds me of Spaceballs. Did you go over my helmet, or did you just go around the side of it?
Yeah.
So as Dave's been popping up on the bottom, there's going to be spoilers. This episode is going to be talking about the Star Beast. We're going to be talking about what we liked, what we disliked, how we rated it, and all the other fun stuff. Dave's going to be very awesome, and I will try to do it as well, but I have a feeling Dave's going to be doing all of the comments and picking them up.
I'll do as much of the producing side as possible. Because
usually we all wear different hats. So This will be fun. It'll be exciting. So let's start. Usually what we start off with is we rate it. So from 0 or 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being not the lowest. Dave, what do you give the Star Beast?
8.5.
8.5. We're going to saw a TARDIS in half. Okay.
Yes.
And Candyman, how about you?
I'm going to give it a quite unusual one for me. I'm going to give it a solid 8. I'm
Oh,
not doing any halves or fractions like I normally do. I'm just going to give it a solid 8 for it.
okay. If you have a rating for yourself, please drop it down into the chat so we can go ahead and we'll pop them up and say who liked stuff, who didn't. Christian usually always keeps his to the very end and doesn't tell anybody what his is. Hello, BadWolf66. Hi, everyone. Hello, JWC Reviews. Dan Holyfield, you have to get the helmet, LOL. So I believe, Mark, you're being called out that you have to get the helmet if you're going to be cosplaying it. There was a few more out there.
Yeah, everyone's saying hi to everyone, and that's what I love about these.
That's what I love about the chats is everyone can say hello to everybody else. That's what's awesome. We have our own little kind of community going on, which is very, very, very chic. So I'm gonna actually say mine was 10 out of 10. I just really liked it, and I will go into that later. I will absolutely flail and fangirl and all that other stuff because Lord knows there's been Doctor Who episodes that I've given it 5, and I mean at some point I watched it yesterday. I ended it with a big dumb happy grin on my face, and I'm still writing that we finally have Doctor Who back. Usually, whenever I personally watch another episode, I watch it again. My rating can change. It can go up or it can go down. So I'm just staying at the pinnacle because I'm probably just writing that high of Doctor Who back. And Tennant was my, one of my favorite doctors ever. So starting low end, because then we'll work my way back to me. And then again, to the comments, Candyman, why 8? Why was it so good? What was made it go up past the halfway mark, past 5, past 6, past 7, and then you were like 8? Yes, okay.
Right. From my point of view, the TARDIS, the new console of the TARDIS, I absolutely loved it. The RPG, the white, it reminded me of a classic, and a lot of the things had a little bit of throwbacks to classic Doctor Who, which I absolutely love. The unit scientist 56, I've forgotten her character name, but having weapons in a wheelchair, some people thought it was corny. I loved it. It was like going back to like John Pertwee's gadget, James Bond sort of like, right, let's get all the gadgets into the show, which I liked. And I liked Pertwee's era. Not my favorite era, because for things, but they had some amazing stories in the Pertwee era, which I love. But having all the gadgets back, hopefully, you never know, we might see Bessie. That'd be nice to see Bessie and stuff like that.
Amazing.
If people don't know who Bessie is because they don't know the classic, that was a bright yellow car, which is pretty much like Kit. If everyone remember, actually, people might not even know who Kit was.
If Kit, what? From Knight Rider, if the Kit is like if Knight Rider was Mr. Toad from Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and had that style car.
Valid.
Okay,
yeah, point taken.
That this kind of wheel, the convertible style. Yeah.
Okay, I always get these back to front, so please forgive me. I always forget whether it's Meet the Beep or Beat the Meep. Meet the Beep, definitely, isn't it, Dave?
Beep the Meep. Yeah.
The Meep.
Beep the Meep.
The Meep.
Right, okay.
The Meep.
So think of Meep as deer. That they are a species. It's singular. It could be singular. It could be plural. It's deer. So a Meep, the Meep. It's like deer, the deer.
The special effects and the artwork of the puppetry, because it was both CGI and puppetry, so it's physical effects. And if you watch Doctor Who Unleashed, I'm not sure, does Doctor Who Unleashed come out on Disney Plus? or
I'm
not?
not sure.
No, you have to hunt for it. It's possible to find, but not through Disney Plus or other.
Right.
I don't know if it's available anywhere legitimate.
So there was a puppeteer inside the costume. It was filmed in the hottest part of the summer this year, which was about coming up to about 36, 37 degrees. And they were like hairdressing the outfit, which was amazing. So that's another plus, just how much effort they spent into it. Other positive things, the whole scenes and the pyrotechnics, like the battle scenes, got a bit of a gripe with it.
Okay.
Unit soldiers were using G36 machine guns. Sorry, I said I cosplay units, so
Okay.
but they had lights coming out of them. So unless they're using tracer rounds every single shot, the light battle they had between them and who's the other characters? Rough.
I just call them the gigantic grasshopper people.
Yeah, the
I'm
giant.
terrible. I'm a terrible fan.
They have got a name for arc.
Correct me, people. They were in the comics.
Yeah, I don't remember the names.
Something Warriors.
Something
The
Warriors.
the Rough Warriors.
Rough Warriors. Rough or Rafe?
They pronounced it Roth.
Roth.
As opposed to Rafe.
When the Rough Warriors were going against unit soldiers, the unit soldiers were finding nice, like laser weapons out of G36s, which is a bit great, but the fireworks and the pyrotechnics were absolutely amazing. So that's really good.
Yeah,
I really did like. At one point, I was like, "Wow, units really bringing the firepower with some of the." There was a lot of. I was actually quite surprised at how much pyrotechnics there was until I remembered. Oh yeah, Sony, Bad Wolf, Disney did that.
We have a budget that finally.
We have a budget.
Yeah.
I kind of equate it to RTD saying, you know what? This is my sandbox. I'm going to play with whatever, and I'm going to tell whatever stories I want. And my sandbox has so much money into it. I can do all these fun things. So I'm just like, all right, I'll just sit here with my popcorn and just watch and enjoy the ride. But you could definitely see and you can see where there was money well spent, and there was a lot more money well spent. And I feel as if, I mean, the Meep looked amazing.
It did.
Because it was a blend of puppetry and CG. Yeah. I liked that the Roth Warriors they looked like rubber suits. I liked the fact that those were rubber suited looking alien humanoid people. But there was certain parts to it that looked, I mean, the voice, the sound, the fact that a couple of them started flying, that where they wanted to put the money into it, they were, oh no, we got money. We're just going to bashfully make this look like a little more rubbery because it's Doctor Who, baby.
And I mean, to be fair, this comes out of a 1980 comic book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So this isn't a new story, and they're not new characters, just new to the screen.
Fifth Doctor, I believe.
Fourth
Doctor.
Oh,
Fifth Doctor was in the sequel. The Big Finish sequel, I think, was Fifth Doctor.
Oh, okay.
If you watch Doctor Who Unleashed, you actually see Tennant become a fanboy over the writers. He literally
I felt that
fanboyed over the writers to this storyline.
I think that for me, the part that trend that really showed that hello fanboy was when he was running around that TARDIS. When the TARDIS kind of was like, okay, here's his TARDIS. This is going to be 14 Doctor's TARDIS. And the scope of how big those racetracks practically were of him running and heading and happy. Because now Tennant no longer has, as the 10th Doctor, he inherited the 9th Doctor's TARDIS. He inherited the 9th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. And he said, and Tennant even said that a few times during the different, the multiple comic conventions he's had and panels and stuff like that he's always inherited all these other ones. So it was kind of neat to see, all right, you get to have your own Sonic and you get to have your own TARDIS. So him running around like a loon, just stretching his legs and going crazy. I kind of felt like that's not the Doctor running around happy for the TARDIS, the old girl having, being fun. That's David Tennant being happy that he's got the round things.
Randalls. We got another Randalls.
Rundles. Sorry, I keep.
I would not have been surprised if that was like filmed. They didn't show it to him beforehand. I would not be surprised if they kept him out of that room until he walked through that door.
Probably,
just because of what a fanboy he is.
Yes.
I have no proof of that. I doubt that's actually the case, but I could definitely see that happening.
And I'm gonna bring this up. Tennant is a sellout. He's a fanboy that gets paid. I'm potato.
I would love to have his job.
Yeah, exactly.
No, right? Andrew Morris says, according to Rachel Talalay, it was David's idea to run around the TARDIS.
Yep, that
makes sense.
It would have surprised me.
Surprise.
Okay, so gripes with the show.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so things we should pull it down from a 10 or a 9 to make it 8. Okay. Yasmin Finn playing Rose Noble. I think the character was good. Okay. But it did gripe me with talking about pronouns. We're 2023 and we're still going on about pronouns. And I've got to a point where I've been doing pronouns and stuff for so long now, before it was even in famous. I literally just like, oh, not this again. And it literally I found the scene with Sylvia and Donna Noble a bit clunky. Talking about the gender reassignment of her daughter. I found that a little bit clunky. I can see whether or not people who've not experienced that, where that might be beneficial. But people who might experience it might think, okay, this is a little bit clunky.
Okay, that's fair. For me, I've experienced I've experienced it from the perspective of Donna, not like with Sylvia, like with other people. They're like not sure. You could see that their heart is in the right place. They want to make sure they're doing the right thing, and that they just don't know what to say. So I could see where maybe the thing is a little clunky. I do appreciate that they did that, because that is something that is, at least it's more and more people are
addressing it.
Yeah. I have a whole lot of things to say about that when we get to me.
But what I did love is when the guys came on the bikes and taking the Mickey out. Not that I liked it, but I understood it, and I can understand it, where the guys on the bikes taking the Mickey out of Rose Noble, that actually got to my heartstrings, and actually, yeah, that does happen. It still happens. I've seen it. It's been over 40 years. This is still carry on, and this is what needs to be addressed. Yeah, stuff where was it Supergirl Dreamer? I'm not sure if anyone watched Supergirl Dreamer. That was another storyline about that, and they done it really well. But I felt them being a little bit clunky. The sonic screwdriver, that's my other gripe. Okay, yes, I can understand it's been upgraded. Whether or not he made it himself or whether or not the TARDIS has made it, who knows? Because we don't know. We don't see how we got the sonic screwdriver. But creating a FDU overhead and force field barriers to stop the bullets coming through.
You know what? I can understand that point of view, because at first I was like, when we first see him sitting down, feet kicked up, and he makes his own little iPad in the air, and I'm like going, okay, well, this is very what was that movie with Tom Cruise? Oh, I forgot. It was like
Oblivion on Minority Report.
Minority Report.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I'm like, it was very all of a sudden that virtual kind of going, oh, so the Sonic can do this now. I'm like, all right, cool. But then it got plussed. And then also now he's making these walls into the midair. And then he's just moved them and this kind of stuff. And I'm kind of that was quite a leap for technology for something that cannot resonate wood. And I'm going, okay, we're still going. It's fine. Just enjoy it. Just sit back and enjoy. But no, I can see where it was just so it does this now. Okay. Moving on.
Well, let's move on. So the supersonic screwdriver. If it came from the new TARDIS, yeah, maybe, because the TARDIS is lovely. I love the new TARDIS. If it comes from that console with a coffee maker, yeah, that's possible. It's been upgraded. Okay, another gripe which pulled it down was near the end, where they're talking to the Doctor and saying the meta crisis has been split in half, but you're a man. It's like, please, that's just like, we've just done the whole thing about gender not being a matter, and now right at the very end, you go off about it does matter being a bloke. It does matter that if you're a man and you can't do this, you can't let go. And I was just like, yeah. The last bit, okay, which is a bit of I'm not sure if you did. Did you actually hear the end theme song, the end credits? Right at the very end. Right at the very end, during the musical, there's got this guy on the piano doing like rock and roll, going up and down the scales. It was really weird. It literally, you know how rock and I know it's something I just literally listened to the very end. Let it go, Mark. Yeah, Frozen. Right at the very end, at the beginning, it goes through normally, and then suddenly this pianist just literally like goes up in scales and like does like its own little solo, which is really weird and not.
I don't recall that. Now I have to go back and watch it.
Anyone else heard that?
I love the theme, and I didn't really pick anything.
It's not in the first film of theme. It's only in the end.
It was in the end credits.
It was only in the end credits. I rewatched it.
I remember the end credits being a different music, if I remember correctly. You know what? It was at one point when I was watching it, because it was for me, it was Disney Plus. The screen ended up becoming smaller, so then I know it. I think my cursor might have hovered over the next thing and started playing it. I'm not sure.
Andrew's not the first person to say this. Did it sound like there was some weird breathing? I didn't hear. I could definitely hear a pulse, like there was something there, but it did not sound like breathing to me. But he's not the first person I've heard say it sounded like weird breathing in the end credits.
Yeah, and so that's why I pulled it down to an 8. There's a lot of good things, a lot of bad things. I'm in between, and that's why I gave it a solid 8. What about you, Dave? What do you think? You gave it 8.5. So what's the extra 0.5?
For me, I what pulled me out was actually different things than what pulled you out. And before we go with me, I'm just going to bring up some of the ratings that we had here. And we can come back to this one at this comment at the end and talking about the new Daleks, as I know everyone probably got a hobby on that. But the ratings from the audience, everything from a 5. We've got an infinite out of 10 from Roger. 5.
5's fair.
8. 5.5. 6 to 7. 9. So it's all over the board, and I think I missed a couple on top of that. As I was, those are just the ones I quickly starred, and I think I missed a few. So it's all over the board, and more so than a lot of episodes. But to me, what brought me out of it was admittedly necessary. This was the first opportunity for a lot of people to see Doctor Who. This is for all intents and purposes the 96 movie, the 2005 reboot. This is for Disney Plus, a massive new audience. so they had to add in a weird amount of exposition. I hated the before the theme intro.
Oh, that thing in the beginning where he's talking, where they're both talking, they're both breaking the fourth wall and explaining that there's something missing, this all kind of stuff.
Like that came a little bit out of the movie, out of the 96 movie, because they did a very similar thing there. Mm-hmm. It felt very, very American Amy Pond intro. Because the American version of Doctor Who with Amy Pond had Amy giving this little monologue.
Yep.
Leading into things because they didn't think America would understand anything.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
And some of that's fair, but
yeah, fair enough. But a lot of it was just some of the exposition was done brilliantly and felt perfectly natural, and some of it was like the very last end. We don't know. We could end up anywhere in space and time. Yes, that's the point. And so there was a couple of those moments. But at the same time, take out the exposition, it was some of the most realistic dialogue of Doctor Who in ages. And it's the stuff that a lot of people are less happy with. Like, I know, Mark, you said, are we back on pronouns? Because aren't we done with that conversation? Clearly we're not. But I work with a lot of Gen Zs. I work with a lot of Gen Alphas. These are conversations that they just have. I meet new people. I find out their pronouns. Like, they offer them. They ask me. It's just how it is common courtesy for the younger generations, and not everybody has experienced that. And I get that.
Can my new pronoun be GOM?
That's up to you.
Grumpy old man.
Yeah.
You do you.
But it's just something. This is the conversations that were had, and some of the language that was used was just younger than a lot of the old audience is used to. I've all over the US, all over Canada, even in Europe, I was that same age demographic. I get the same conversations until, and it was very interesting to see this when specific adults came around. And the conversation changed. The kids did not trust that adult, so they changed their verbiage. They which was has been really interesting to see when that happens. That's a whole episode in that. That's a whole nother conversation. But it was very, very real. I've had the pronoun conversation of somebody trying to get there, and right, sorry, right, and trying to understand. I've had I've seen the kids being stupid, not as often as you'd think, although everything in there, even the I saw on Twitter somebody was harping on, does anyone even use the term male presenting? Yes they do regularly, and every other variation of it. These are conversations that happen in the real world.
The fun part with social media is that once in a while, everybody is in their own echo chambers, and that this is all that they see and know. And once in a while, they'll poke out and they'll come out to a different person's echo chamber and go, "What do you mean? You haven't moved on already?" It's like, yes. So I constantly have to remind myself that everybody when it comes to the world globally, a lot of firsts are always happening. A first for somebody is always happening no matter what. So this could be the first time, Lord knows. And it could be what are you growing up you grow up in a cave?
Yeah.
They could be very, very sheltered, or they could be a child. They could be someone that's an adult that's never, this is their sphere. This is what they've lived in. And they've just now actually seeing something for the first time. So a lot of times there's some people's firsts. Hopefully, as we keep going and going and going, it's not as many people's firsts. And I think that's why sometimes we get this like, to your point, going like with some people, some demographics, whatever you want to call it, whatever, generationally, what have you, saying, we're still doing this. Yes, we are, because we as a global, humanity, we're not all on the same page. sometimes we are all actually reading the same book, but we are on vastly different pages, and we have to kind of remember that.
And that also comes in with the new unit advisor and her wheelchair. There was, and it's been weird crests of what the internet has gone nuts about in the last 72 hours or so.
I'm gonna go on a weird tangent here with that wheelchair and go, the first time when she started firing missiles, I was like, oh, they're stealthy, that's awesome. But when she fired that rocket launcher bomb thing, and I'm going, okay, now wait a second, that wheelchair is not that big. How do you have that firepower? It was like weird. It was like I could suspend my disbelief. No, I can't on this one. I'm terrible.
Yeah, it's fair. But a lot of people were very shocked when she crossed her legs, and like, well, it's just the show. They got some actress in who doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
Some people can move their legs if they're in a wheelchair.
Yeah, she's in a wheelchair.
She's physically in a wheelchair.
Yeah. She has spina bifida, and she's not paralyzed. And again, it comes down to a lot of people just don't realize that's a thing, or can be a thing. And if you wonder the deep darkness of Reddit and some of the Karen posts, you'll find that it's like they're faking it because no, they're not. You just don't understand what that is happening.
All that disability.
Yeah. Holton says, if someone asks me my pronouns, I will be saying, really, I'm a penguin, I guess. And I just want to go with the Doctor Who deep cut on this, Holton. Are you Frobisher?
Yeah. I
hope so. I hope you're making a Frobisher one.
Or if Holton wants to pick up a penguin. And if he's from the UK, you'll get that.
Yeah.
Dan says explosives can be tiny yet powerful. This is true. I've had crazy chemistry teachers who don't give up all their fun chemicals that they're supposed to, and they've been teaching 40, 60 years and go, look, see this tiny little bam. You're like, oh, okay, fair point.
Exactly. But no, it was a lot of fun with all of this. The controversy over disrespecting David Tennant, and that again, Donna has always taken the piss out of David Tennant's Doctor. This episode, she was the nicest I've ever seen her, specifically including that comment.
When they brought Wilf up. Mm-hmm. When they brought up Wilf, and you see 14 just crush, because then you remember all the conversations he had beforehand, and that how he would have been honorable. It would have been an honor to have him as his father. Hell, he died because of Wilf. He died for that man.
Yeah.
And then at the other thing, the next thing is both Donna and Sylvia just going,
oh, you idiot.
That line really touched me when they turned around and said Kate from Unit was looking after Wilf because he was like a fallen soldier. Like he was an actual paratrooper in World War II. That's what a lot of people don't know. He was a paratrooper. He fought for our freedoms. So, rest his soul.
Gibbons, the person, not the character Wilf.
No, the actual person.
Yeah, the actual
fought
person.
In World War II. Paratrooper, I think it was about 16 when he went. And so when they said about Unit looking after one of their own, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. No, that was great. And it's like, I honestly, my general opinion on a lot of the stuff that's kind of like, by the time we get to the 70th, 75th anniversary, I quite frankly hope that this episode just feels quaint.
Do you reckon Tennant will be back for the 75th?
Yes, we'll have he'll be back as the 20th Doctor as well. I mean, he doesn't feel disrespected. He loved the script.
Yeah.
And so that's great. You didn't like it. You felt he was disrespected. He didn't.
Yeah.
And he's been quite open with that, how much he loved it.
Can you just bring back up Andrew's message about his beret? He didn't wear his old beret, but he did wear the wings. On his beanie, you'll see the the paratrooper rings. He wore that pretty much all the time.
So that was actually Bernard Cribbens's wings. So
Yeah.
he wore his own.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I can see we're not wanting to wear the beanie itself because maybe the beanie can get old and it's cloth.
Right,
No,
yeah.
it's wool, I think.
No, he was talking about the difference between the beret and beanie. So, far as I know, so the berets are the side caps.
The side ones.
Yeah, normally maroon.
The beanie was. Oh yeah, there was the little beanie. Okay, because he would.
But on the
Okay,
beanie,
he would wear
French
that.
mimes wear.
Fun?
That thing that French mimes wear.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you
I'm
go
happy
back,
Mark doesn't have control to kick me out.
yeah. And if you go back, I'll show you. I can't remember which one it was, but I'll show you how to mold a berry properly. It was one of the previous episodes. I actually dunk it in water and put it on my head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that way it actually
Molding
can
it,
kind of fit. So that's for me, I gave it a 10 out of 10 because I was just so bloody happy that we had Doctor Who again. And while there were parts, and that's the thing is I can go back and watch it again. And as I keep talking, I can probably go, yeah, this parts was, but to me, even the parts weren't so bad that I'm going to take down the entire episode or my enjoyment of the entire episode. Like for me, for the 50th, I can go on and on and on about the 50th and how it's the greatest episode ever. And that's the one everyone should watch. It's my absolute favorite episode. That's 10 out of 10. There's parts in that episode that were like, that's not, that I didn't like that part. But anyway, I digress. We're talking about the 60th. We're talking about the Star Beast. I liked the fact that when the two big talking points that I'll just like we've already addressed is the having somebody that's in the wheelchair. I loved having it so that when writing is not pointing it out, but making it a part of life and moving on. Case in point, her saying the stairs. Yeah. And that it showed off not only for her to be going, keep moving, don't make me a problem. And it showed how an able-bodied person should be looking at going, what do I do? And I like the fact that they got the cue from her going, what do I do? And it's don't make me the problem. All right. And off they went to go become, I really liked that. Her moving her leg, you know what? Probably somebody out there learned that, yes, you could be in a wheelchair and still move your legs. You don't necessarily have to be paralyzed because let's face it, unless we meet people in real life that are wheelchair bound or have different ailments or have somebody that's in their family that's affected or is something or blah, 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 blah. You're going to learn a lot of this through media. You're going to learn this stuff through television. You're going to see your first, for characters and stuff like that. So that's why the importance of them being portrayed is smart. And I think being portrayed in a manner that's not inconsequential, but not a trope is important. Mm-hmm. I always go back to a football trope. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say also, we're talking about disabilities, but there are a lot of disabilities which are unseen. So the person might be walking around normally, but person might be suffering with major, either psychological or even physical disabilities that you don't even know about. And just because someone's in a wheelchair, it doesn't mean that they're paralyzed. They might have numerous different like musculoskeletal disorder or even something completely different. Mm-hmm. You won't know until you actually talk to them and find out. So remember, assuming what a person is just making an ass out of you and me. So when you come to talking about disabilities and stuff like that, even the disabilities which you can't see, people might still have. Everyone's fighting a battle that you don't know about.
Mm-hmm. And we let's face it, we like watching those videos of Today I Learned. And it's like, oh, today I learned you can do this with a salt and pepper shaker. Oh, today I learned that. Did you know this part of this tool is actually used for this? Oh, well, don't I feel dumb? It's the same thing with people and how we work societally. It's today I learned that. Oh, I mean, at some point, I don't know when in my life, at some point I learned that, oh, you could be in a wheelchair and still move your feet. I learned something new. Cool. So hopefully more people kind of take it that way and go, oh, if you learn something new, awesome. If you don't, keep moving on. But I really didn't like the fact that she had so much firepower in that wheelchair.
That's why she didn't have a jetpack, though. They didn't get
Like-
too far. A jetpack would have just been too far.
See, that's thank you. The jetpack would have been just that step too far, because then that's just then. But yeah, that I love the gun, but I wasn't sure about the jetpack. Okay, but still, bless her.
Even like in Johnny English, where like it's the spoof of James Bond, and the guy in the wheelchair literally like it's like super speedy, does 60 miles an hour, and has all the armory and bullets and firepower. It's just like I just took it as like, yeah, it's unit. Her wheelchair has been upgraded due to MI6 unit special intelligence, and it's just literally gadget galore. I'm surprised it didn't like come up and like put out a custard cream for her as well.
I do appreciate that the costuming for her, it was very on par, like when Kate would show up or anybody else from unit would show up that's a higher up, and that they weren't going to be decked out in, you know, tactical gear. They're not going to have all that stuff on. They're just on they're wearing their business stuff, and she was also just wearing her business stuff.
See,
so I kind of thought, all right,
I'm in two minds with that, because you've got Kate, who's the head of it, which is fine. She was the 56 scientists in unit,
something like that.
And number one was the doctor.
Yep. But if you look at the other scientists which have come before, which was it Lee Evans and what's the name? The one with their pump. My mind's gone blank today. I'm sorry, guys, but they were wearing the white lab coats.
Is that what Oswald?
Yeah, Oswald.
Yeah, Osgood.
Osgood. Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Osgood was wearing her white lab.
Malcolm.
Lee Evans, Malcolm was wearing white lab coat. And so, what rank are they? Are they like 108th, 116th?
Oh, maybe.
Or they're just in a lab.
Yeah.
Like she's not in the lab. Maybe we would see her in a lab coat in the lab. Maybe.
But like I said,
and I hope we get the chance.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
She's a fabulous character.
What if you get to a certain rank, you get to have the lab coat? It's kind of like getting the green master's jacket in golf. It's that. That's what the lab coat is. You have to do something special in order to get the lab coat. Otherwise, you just have to go to Marks and Spencer or somewhere and just buy some snazzy clothes.
She'll get the lab coat now that she's met the doctor.
Yeah, she's got bonus. But yeah, that's quite interesting. Like seeing unit. Unit has always had scientific researches anyway, since the 70s and stuff like that. We also know that unit was mainly army, but had RAF and Navy attached to it anyway. So it's a multi thing. So scientists, Air Force, Navy, have all been in part of unit, including international unit as well. Like it was Battlefield, where they had Czech units. So it is international.
Okay. So what you're saying is there could be multiple different types of lab coats.
Yeah. Well, it's multiple different uniforms.
We're gonna have an episode just on unit cosplay, aren't we?
I literally will just blow your mind.
And here we go.
We've got 3 hours more.
Just also a valid point.
No.
Not that easy to wear a lab coat in a wheelchair. Valid point.
Tailoring.
It's totally doable.
Always tailoring, but still, yeah. Let's see. I love David's 10th and 14th Doctor, and that's Biblical Capaldi's 12th would be my favorite Doctor. See, that's one thing I was kind of wondering is how much of the 14 are we going to see that's going to be very, very much invoking of just 10? Because so far in this particular episode, it felt like 14 is just 10 again.
According to David Tennant, it's very, very similar between the two.
Okay.
One of the big difference which I saw that someone noticed on YouTube is when the 15th was talking to Rose Noble's dad in the taxi, saying how Donna spent the money. And normally, like, oh, that's amazing, that's really good, but the 14th went, oh, really? Like, shocked by that she gave it to charity, while the 10th would be absolutely saying, yeah, that's my Donna, Dr. Donna, you know what I mean? And that's a different, I think what I can see so far is that the 10th had a lot more hope, while the 14th is very, very much okay.
Yeah, because at one point the 14th Doctor said that I think he loved her, like, you know, I love you, you know, friend thing. And the first thing that happened was that same thing with the mouth of, apparently I do that now. So at least there was a little bit, I thought that was a little neat little nuance of going, okay, we are seeing a newish Doctor, or at least trying to show off the fact that it is a Doctor post regeneration. I did like when we saw him going up to Sean. Was it Sean Temple? Is that the name? No. What's his name? My brain didn't work.
Donna. Mr.
Donna. Oh my God. So when he goes over and he says, you know, I'm the minister of something to commandeer the taxi, and it says, he's like, that says mistress. And I like how he goes, oh, will you keep up, and just hits the psychic paper over and over again, like, well, you just come on, catch up. I thought that was kind of like little fun of like how everything else, once he has a regeneration, whenever the Doctor regenerates, everything needs to learn how to like kind of catch up a little bit, and everything else is still queued up for the previous Doctor. But Mark, you brought up a good point of when we were watching Children in Need, he was still, the TARDIS was still, go ahead.
Okay, so when we were done the review of Children in Need, the TARDIS was still Jodie's. So we know that if you go and watch the Children in Need special, when he takes a plunger out of the TARDIS, you will see the background of the TARDIS. That's roughly about 3 minutes 59, because me and Melanie had a look at it just before the show. 3 minutes 59, you see the interior of the TARDIS when he lands on Skaro. The TARDIS is still Jodie's TARDIS. Which would mean that the TARDIS didn't change until either the Doctor and Donna came in as one, and then it changed. Because as you come out of the TARDIS, you do not see any inside of the console room. You only see the side door, like the side box of it, in the 6-year speciality. Only when Doctor and Donna walks in, the TARDIS had regenerated.
Had changed, because even with Tennant running around, or the 14th, Sean Noble, thank you so very much. Tasty cake. Yeah, because he was just running around, and Shirley Temple. He was running around. He was amazed. He loved the fact that there was the rondels. That I like the fact that there's like LED lights in there.
I love
that was amazing. Good night.
Bye, TARDIS Spider.
But having the LEDs and having that light effect kind of go around, but having him run around crazily, just really getting to stretch his legs and letting the camera kind of really show the space. I like that it showed that now there's more portals to the different rooms. Maybe we'll see the pool room. Maybe we'll see the garden. Maybe we'll see we saw the inside of the wardrobe. Maybe we can see it attaching or what have you. But it really shows the breadth of the set that they get to work in, and how big and just massive this space is. But still, with the console having all the little bits and bobs and different types of things. So it's amazing.
And a new coffee machine.
It reminds me of the Star Trek one where it's like, Earl Grey hot, and it comes out and it makes the cup too.
Yeah.
So each cup comes in. I liked that. Was there any? I would say there was somebody I think you might have started a question.
Yeah, I did. Do we know who this boss was? The guest seems to be Celestial Toymaker, but we also know. I mean, we know Celestial Toymaker's in it, or the Toymaker is in it.
Mm-hmm.
We know that that Beep comes back. That's not well publicized, but it is public knowledge that they're in at least one more episode.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. We don't know who it is. Maybe it's the toy maker.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
it's
I kind of think it would be the toy maker.
maybe it's
Okay.
the Ballard.
Maybe it's the 15th.
Oh, imagine if the 15th Doctor is the boss.
I can't think that, but yeah, anything.
Maybe the fugitive Doctor is on a different timeline or time stream, and there's actually multiple Doctors in different time streams.
And you know what?
Because the reason why I've said this, if you watch Tales of the TARDIS and watch the one with Ace and the 7th Doctor, when we're doing Curse of Fenric, Ace goes up there. Oh, you've got old. He was playing as well. There's different time streams. One time stream I might get old. The other time stream I may regenerate.
Oh, going multiverse-y kind of.
Yeah,
maybe.
But using time streams as a crux.
Yep.
Holton says there's going to be 3 Doctors next week, with Tennant getting a spin-off show, and they feel pathetic, to be honest. Fair enough. I'm okay with the Tennant show. I'm just, I said, I'm here for all the Doctor Who you could give me. I will read the comics. I will listen to every Big Finish you can. I'm good with listening to multiple Big Finishes with multiple Doctors going on different tangents. And I'm going to sneeze one moment.
Bless you.
I'm yeah, exactly. It's not done yet. Should we solo her? Should we solo Mel while she sneezes? Just
okay. Taking odds now. Taking odds.
First of all, I was polite enough to mute. Second of all, Holton, you got me so jazzed up I went into sneeze mode. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. Why do you I want to know why you think it's pathetic. Do you want to have just Doctor Who, one thing, one show, and you're good with it? Or do you like the idea of multiple shows going on over and over, all that kind of stuff? Because I mean, I'm just genuinely intrigued. I mean, no hate over here from me.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate. I'm going to play the devil's advocate here. We know that a lot of shows, like the MCU, has caused it to go on a downward slope. Same thing with Marvel as well. There's so-called oversaturation.
Okay, no, that's fair, because loved Loki, didn't even attempt finishing Secret Invasion, and I had high hopes for that show. I was all in, like, yay, Ben Mendelsohn and Samuel L. Jackson. This is gonna be.
Nobody liked that one though. That was that. You were not alone on that.
I
At
stopped.
best, it was past your head.
I know.
So I'm just going to give it a benefit of doubt. Maybe Horton, you can say whether or not he wants to in the chats. Maybe he feels like it's getting too oversaturated. He feels like it might be going the same way as Marvel, as Star Wars did. The amount of feedback and flashback it got over the latest releases. But the thing about Doctor Who, and this is what I love about Doctor Who, you may like one episode or one part of the era of Doctor Who, and that may be your actual Doctor. Fine. Stick with it. If you want something new or something different, then go on to a different Doctor. Move on. I find while watching Doctor Who for many years I have, it goes up and down, up and down. It's like basically being on a ship at sea. Some episodes you're going to love, some episodes you're going to hate. Some Doctors you're going to love, some Doctors you're going to hate. Some of the political correctness you're going to love, some of the political correctness you're going to hate. It's Doctor Who. It's designed for the family. It was a family show. It was supposed to be educational, but they basically crossed that off because it wasn't really educational. That's the plan from the 60s. But it's a fun show. Yeah. Whether or not you like it or you don't like it, it's up to you. But I'm going to keep on going with it. I've gone through it for so many years. I'm still going to love it. I still watch everything. Like, one thing I probably will say not to watch was the Australian K9. But apart from that, I've watched everything. Anything which has come on from Doctor Who, I've watched, even including some of the fan-based stuff. because it's quite interesting. Different people's different point of views, different say what is going through there. But yeah, I'm trying to give both sides here. I'm just playing devil advocate here.
And I always kind of think that I'm beginning to learn for myself that certain things seem preachy. Whether or not you think something seems preachy or something seems like it's being pushed in your face depends on the person watching and how they like to learn or to be educated, which kind of works just in a training educate. Everybody has different learning styles and everybody has different ways of wanting to be open to receive information, where one episode could be kind of preachy for some, one episode could be like, oh, that's enlightening, another one could be like, I don't know what the message you were talking about, I didn't see anything. With like, for me, like because I've heard that some people thought that this one was kind of preachy with some messages and everything. I didn't feel that. I thought it was kind of written in well enough with Rose being trans, and how that slice of life for her and her family, how they deal with it and all that kind of stuff. I thought it kind of felt I thought it was written naturally in how I've heard other people that I know of kind of deal and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't feel the preachy part to it, but I guess maybe again other people might have never.
Yeah, so from my point of view, so I perfectly accept yours, Mel, is that you felt it was natural. I felt it clunky. I felt, because I've been through it, I've seen it firsthand. I felt it very, very clunky. You know what I mean? I've seen it like was just like a little bit jarring for me, but that's my point. My personal experiences, because I've seen it firsthand.
Right.
You haven't, so you've come in with a fresh pair of eyes. I'm not sure what Dave's point of view was on that, because Dave's might have a complete different view.
Andrew, I think it was, pointed out that he's been in that conversation and it went exactly as clunky as that one did. I certainly have. I've been in those conversations and had them be, I've been on both sides of that conversation, in fact, where it's been, oh, right, nope, right.
Now, when it comes to preachy,
no, you're good.
An example for preachy for me was like the arachnids, the Chibnall era, not Orphan 55, which I also thought was kind of preachy. Yeah. That was just to me, that one was because it was like bludgeoning. Oh, did you know this is the earth? Did you know that this is bad? Did you know that this is what happens to your environment? And it just kept going and it didn't, to me, feel like it was in the storyline or moved the storyline. At least in a time-wise, or like the spiders underneath the hotel that, with Mr. Big or whatever the heck his name was, that I'm always going to know him as Mr. Big from Sex and the City. To me, those were more preachy to me because I felt like I was just being told something and I didn't really see the plot point moving the story along. Again, that could have just been me and the way I like to receive information. I thought that this one was more, okay, we're moving along to point A to point B. She needs to get home. As they're going home, okay, now they're home. Everything happened for the characters as they were moving through the story and where they needed to get to point A to point B to point C to point D. So I didn't feel I thought it was more effortless. Now, the other thing is this is the first special we got, so I don't know if we're going to have more things like that. So looking at just as the special as itself, I didn't get the preaching part, but fair.
We're going to have to carry on, move on. And okay, the episode's done. People are going to like it. People are going to hate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's your choice. It doesn't really matter. It's your opinion. As long as you can accept other people's opinions, then it's all good. You know what I mean? We move on. What's the next episode? Wild Blue Yonder?
Yeah. Wild Blue Yonder is the next one. But I think the big thing we also got, but honestly, importantly, we got Dr. Donna back again. How about that scene at the end where he brought her back? At what point did y'all think, or did y'all figure out that he put a code in there to unlock her? When it was
Pretty
starting
quick.
pretty quick?
Yeah.
By
Now,
about
do you
the
think the
first
code
time
went
she
a little
said-
long?
By the time she went, "What are you doing?" I kind of went, "I know what he's doing."
Yeah. So he started with the second code word. I was like, yeah, he's going to have to bring Dr. Donna back. But I'm a little bit surprised. Okay, one of the things which I was a bit sure, because we're in the Journey's End, where the Master comes to Donna and everyone looks like the Master, she literally knocked herself out. But this time, when she saw the Doctor, she didn't. So, because the Doctor put a defense in her. But the
That's right,
defense,
because he even said, you don't think I'm going to put a defense on my best friend?"
yeah. So, but where was the defense from this Doctor?
It was behind. Apparently, it wasn't behind that box. Or I did thought that was fun little slapstick comedy for the two of them.
Possibility is when she had Rose Noble, okay, when she had her child, that some of the defense might have gone on to the child, which made her making it weaker. That's just my subplot around working around the storyline, because it didn't make sense.
I did really like the fact that when they first said that, okay, they're going to bring Donna back, I'm like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? Because her mind's going to explode. Her mind's going to explode. So I thought that it was smart writing having it so that when she gave birth and had a child, some of that left her and went into the kid. So that made it so there's no longer, even though it's dormant, it's going along with it. So it's being passed on.
Yeah.
I thought that was very kind of like, oh, that's kind of smart. All right. Although I wasn't quite sure we're just going to let it go. Like,
so does that mean
fine? I'm watching a TV show about a spaceship that's bigger on inside and it travels through space and time.
And there's multiple timelines. Who knows? It's wibbly wobbly. So does that mean that Donna's daughter is now Dr. Rose?
No.
Why not?
Interesting. No. I don't know. Just we were silent, so I'm giving an answer. No.
Because technically,
no. Wait, say it again.
So Dr. Donna,
okay,
yeah, basically when she basically took the meta crisis on, passed it down to Rose.
Yes.
But when it was activated on Donna, it activated on Rose.
Yes.
So therefore, she's now Dr. Rose and Dr. Donna.
Yes. No, yeah, she absolutely was, because she was down on, because she was on the ground flipping her switches and stuff to help fix everything, which there's the part of this show that I was like, okay, wait. London, once again, has significant damage in the ground, and then what? It just fills back up. I saw that part kind of made me go, wait, this is really expansive. How are you going to come back from this? And they're like, oh, it's just extinguished. I'm like, I mean, London has underground rivers, but I don't think they got that many.
Loads.
So they have one. I know. What was one of them? Those are loads. Okay, maybe
there's a massive river
between
like Tottenham Court Road and the Strand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so going back, sorry, to your point. So is Rose going to be like River or the Metacrisis Doctor? No, because then Rose gave it back away, because they both held hands. They went, when exhaled it, and they were like, I don't need this power. And I'm like, no, you do. You need to figure out to get. I love Donna when she had her little the hair down, and she just, when she became Dr. Donna, just went, I gave away 166 million pounds. I'm like, there's Donna. Donna is angry. She's gonna come up and be angry first. I love that.
Okay, to answer Andrew's Morris answer, it's got to be the Elizabeth line.
Why did the oily fire appear in the streets and then seal back up? Lucky, I guess. The tube lines too. It's the
Yeah.
Elizabeth line.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth line. It's got to be. They've been digging it out, trying to sort it out. Maybe they made a mistake.
I went to Star Wars. Now just another tangent because this is what I do. I went to Star Wars Celebration, and the whole time, all these people are going to the XL. Elizabeth line for the entire weekend was not running.
Yep.
What? I have seen West Ham more times than I ever thought I would be possible to have to transfer. So yes, I'm going to blame the Elizabeth line.
I have a fond spot in my heart for the Elizabeth line, as should this entire show, because our traveling TARDIS was the first TARDIS on that Elizabeth line.
It was indeed.
Yep.
Yep.
Because Mark is awesome.
Okay, sorry, I'm going through comments.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Elsewhere.
All sorts of fun stuff in there, you know.
Donna descending. I will descend. I love when Donna is just full of just anger and more bloody anger. And for those, speaking of anger and bloody anger, I like that she called out that the Meep was a monster.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like, no, it's cute and all that kind of stuff. And then it did the switch. So I do know I have some friends that had no idea who the Meep was. So they weren't familiar with the Meep from the comic or the Meep from the Big Finish audio or any other like YouTube, channels who said, okay, here's some facts about, the Meep that you didn't know about. So when they saw that switch, they were like, whoa, what the? Some were surprised, some weren't because they were kind of waiting for, when's the penny going to drop for this episode.
I must admit, I did love David Tennant doing the court scene when he just picks up the wig, puts on his hat. Right, court in order.
I had to once again remember.
Why do you just have a random in your coat? Because it's the Doctor.
Because the Doctor would have that, of course.
Yeah.
The question is, if the RAF warriors are technically police officers, what does it make the Jadoon?
Different police officers.
Different jurisdiction?
Yeah.
I don't know because he did
Sheriff versus Highway Patrol.
He did bust out with the Shadow Proclamation, blah 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 blah. And I'm going, well, that would be Jadoon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because, I mean, they brought up the Jadoon when they were going to kind of going through all of Rose's little plushies that she had been making.
Yeah.
Because there was a Jadoon in there. There was an adipose in there. There's a Dalek.
Cyberman.
I don't remember all the other ones, but they were all adorable.
So, what do you guys think? Should the Jadoon be there, or do the RAF warriors work for the Jadoon as like a subsection, as traffic cops, as Dave would like to put them, compared to normal cops?
Yeah, someday I would like them to answer that question. I don't think it needs to be answered in the next month.
No.
But I actually would legitimately like to find that answer out in canon on the show, and maybe it is just we're both after the same guy or whatever.
Russell T Davies, if you're listening, okay,
as he will on this show.
You never know. Please,
he loves our show.
Please, can you answer this question? Who's more senior out of the RAF warriors and the Jadoon as being police officer of the galaxy?
Maybe.
I can see why he didn't use the Jadoon, only because if other people, for me, if I had seen the Jadoon, I would have thought immediately, the Meep is a bad person. We know the Meep's a bad person. Here we go. So by using a different police force, military force, what have you, you're gonna stay on that. Oh, they're the bad guys. They're the bad guys. They're the bad guys, and not realize the spin, because I wasn't really prepared for that spin.
Yeah, it was just a random thought there. You know what I mean? It was just throwing out stones.
Yeah, universe is pretty big. There's only so many Jadoon.
Yeah.
They're still all running around trying to find the Ruth doctor, the fugitive doctor. That's what they're doing. They're still trying to figure out where fugitive doctor is, and they're tangled up with that. Yeah, does the Earth have one police force?
No, but they very rarely cross over, despite what popular Hollywood movies would have us believe. There's not. They don't often run off to another country and do the thing. So
technically, they do. If you include Interpol as the natural police force, world's police, Interpol is technically one Earth police. However, there are multiple subdivisions when it comes to local police. But I'll just point it out there, Andrew.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go fairly soon.
Now I say, yeah, we're already at 7:19. I guess we could wrap it up.
Let's answer Andrew's question here, but fast. How do we rate this amongst the other anniversary episodes?
Better than the 5 Doctors.
No way.
I'm going there.
No way.
Was that Tom Baker thing of them calling it the 5 Doctors when that was the 5 Doctors and they just used a still of him on a canal boat being stuck with Romana?
Yeah, but the what's it called? The robot which takes out the Cyberman with darts were absolutely amazing. I wish he could come back.
See, 50th is always gonna be my favorite. It had Tom Baker. I just can't. It had Tennant, it had Baker, it had Matt Smith, it had Clara, where I didn't think that I was gonna despise Clara eventually. It had I really like the 50th. 50th is gonna be hard to go past that.
Okay. The worst one out of all the anniversary is Silver Nemesis.
Oh, Silver Nemesis was an anniversary one, wasn't it?
It was 20.
Everything just cut out for me. I don't know if I froze or if one of you did, but I got none of that.
You might have. He said Silver Nemesis is the worst.
Okay.
I
didn't realize that was the anniversary one.
That was supposed to be the 25th anniversary, hence why it's Silver Anniversary.
When you have to explain it for the person in the back. You see, Melanie, 25 and silver are the same thing vernacularly.
But what happened was Remembrance of the Daleks was such much better story, so that became like the unofficial 25th anniversary. But yeah.
Yay! Redemption. Kinda. No? Okay, cool. Andrew's saying Remembrance of the Daleks was a better 25th. I'm just going to put the 50th at the top. I'm not going to try ranking them. I'm ranking them just apparently me saying 5th Doctor's done ostracized me. So
I'm going to put the 50th and 60th on par with each other, mainly because I would need to rewatch the 50th. So I'm not blending the stuff surrounding the 50th around. I want I want apples to apples, not apples to fruit salad.
I'm going to go 50th as my number 1. Second's going to be the 3 Doctors. Then probably the 5th, and then the 60th.
Okay.
And then, the rest I can just leave behind.
See, Holton says, "Night, everyone. Thanks for the show. Just giving my opinions. If people like, then great. Yep.
You're welcome to your opinions. That's what I do on the show.
Yep.
I love it. Thanks for joining and
engaging. Yes.
And have a wonderful night.
Oh, Andrew's got the same rankings as me.
Of course he does. Both y'all. I don't know. Let's see. Now I got to stream that episode. Which one does he want? I'm trying to go back. I think the special was better than most of the Chibnall era. On the whole, so that's the bad thing. There's some episodes in the Chibnall era I really like the Tesla one. I really like the
Village of Angels.
Village of Angels. I like the VO.T. I can never say it. The Frankenstein Lord Byron one. I liked that.
Yeah.
That one I really liked. Honestly, I will always stand by. Sad to say, but go back to through all the episodes that we've reviewed during her era. The ones that Jim wrote, I did not rank high, but the ones that he didn't, I did. So sometimes you got to do just sit back, watch, and enjoy the show.
Waves.
Wee! Teflo! Woohoo! 455. Hey, bye!
And on that note,
all right,
please join us on Saturday. I will be live officially when it goes up on our YouTube. It will say probably 5 or 10 or maybe even 15 minutes before showtime. I will almost certainly be going live before that. On Saturday, I was basically setting up all of my Christmassy things, just to be live and have a conversation with people as I was doing that. Obviously that's done. I won't do that. I'll figure something out.
I will try to join you.
Yeah, and so I'll be live. So by all means, for those who don't understand or don't realize what a watch party is, yes, you still need to have your Disney Plus or BBC or whatever it may be up watching the episode with us. We'll try and go. There will be spoilers. There will be conversation in the comments. We generally will probably not be chip-chapping on the actual, verbally during the episode, because that's just not cool. And we'll probably do something afterwards as well. Like last time,
you will not be able to see the episode here. You will not be able to watch it here.
Yeah, you will discuss it here, but we will watch it on our own stuff.
Yes.
But I did, for example, I opened a big box of cool stuff.
Is that the second edition?
Sorry, I just had to. I don't know why I was getting that phone call right in the middle of everything. Thanks for not. Right. That's not helpful.
I thought it was. Was an alarm saying, "Hey."
Yeah. No.
Is that the second edition?
These are for second edition. Seriously, stop it! I can't have a call with you right now. This is 60 Years of Adventure. So this is all of the first 13 Doctors. So all of this distilled down into 2 books with an adventure that touches on every single Doctor and carries through. It's got an full adventure path. I've got... Stop that, Melanie.
Sorry.
The last one is somebody that I will have to probably get back in touch with.
Okay,
Adventures in Space is cool new rules for building your own aliens, spaceships, stuff like that in the second edition of the Doctor Who role-playing game. Secrets of Scaravore is an entire adventure path. And Doctors and Daleks. This is all 3 versions of Doctors and Daleks.
King James Bible of this Lord. It's got the family tree in there.
So
it's got Avil records. That's huge.
So they have the same. This is the same adventure for 5e or for 5e here for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and for the Doctor Who role-playing game. So that's very, very cool. And there's also the Alien Archive Player's Guide and a GM screen in here. This is their special collector's edition. None of these are available right now, just for the record. The earliest, the 60 years should be available in December, basically just killing time on shipping. They were very nice to send me these advanced copies to take a look at stuff. And I'm going to, I've cut down us looking at these on Saturday, so there will be a bits of the TARDIS on that. On each of them, actually. And so I'll probably even play that on Saturday at some point, maybe beforehand.
Maybe one when we get near to Christmas when you do the gaming session.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you could become a DM and us will be characters.
It's plausible. I hate doing that.
Okay, sorry.
Maybe, yeah. Oh no, it's we've been saying for ages we really want to do something like that. So we'll figure something out. But please join us for that live watch party.
Mhm.
Other than that, is there anything else, Melanie, Candyman? Anything else we've got before Tony takes us out?
Not really.
Just, if you want, follow us on our socials. Thank you for, oh yeah, that also, today is Karen Gillian's birthday.
Yay.
So happy birthday, Karen. And yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else. Everybody we got new Doctor Who, everybody.
Woo!
Love it or hate
Right.
it, we got new Doctor Who.
Boom, boom, boom. All right. Well,
Okay, bye.
bye all, and take us out, Tony.